Steve Shetler here on KBOE, being joined on the phone this afternoon by a very special guest, the director of the documentary Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me. We've got James Keach on the phone today. James, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
And
Very well, thank you.
and where are you calling in from today?
I'm calling in from Southern California.
Good old Southern California. What's the weather like out there today?
It's about 61 degrees and sunny.
That's better than here in Iowa by several degrees. Are you going to be making your way to Iowa later this week?
I'll be there on Thursday.
All right, and we are talking about Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me. It's a documentary that's going to be making its Iowa premiere this Friday evening at the Lutheran Church of Hope in West Des Moines. And that's coming up on Friday. Doors will open up at 6, and then showtime is at 7 p.m. with a concert following. And advanced ticket registration is required for this, so you'll want to get in on that. So now that we've got some of the basics out of the way, it is free and open to the public. They do, however, want advanced ticket registration, so you do have to get in on the advanced stuff to get into the showing. But tell us a little bit about this project. Obviously, we're talking about the legendary Glen Campbell and his dealing with Alzheimer's. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about it.
Well, in 2011, Glen was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he was making one of his final albums called Ghost on a Canvas, and they decided that he wanted to go out on tour, and so they asked my partner Trevor Albert and I if we'd be interested in documenting it. And a few years before, I'd made a movie called Walk the Line, and I knew Johnny Cash, and the Cashes knew the Campbell, so they figured that if the Cashes would trust us, that they would.
Yes.
But we were very reluctant to do it because it was about Alzheimer's, and Alzheimer's is a very daunting, dark thing to face in your life, and also in film, it's kind of a tough thing to make an entertaining piece about. Every documentary that we've seen on it that we watched was pretty dark, but
Sure.
Julian Ray, the producer of the album, and a friend of mine kept saying, "Come on, meet Glen," and so eventually, after some persuasion, we did meet Glen, and Glen came into the living room, and my son Johnny, who Julian was working with, he was 15 at the time. Glen, he had a guitar in his hand. Glen goes, "Hey, I play guitar. You want me to show you something?" and Johnny goes, "Sure." And Glen picks up the guitar and just shreds it. Then he looks at his wife and says, "Hey, when a man finds a good woman, he finds a good thing. I found me a good thing." He points to his wife, and Kim says, "Honey, we're here to talk to James about making, documenting the tour for the 5-week tour, and about your Alzheimer's." She said, "What's Alzheimer's?" He said, "I don't have Alzheimer's. I got part-timers." So we saw right there this guy had a wonderful sense of humor, totally in love with his wife, an extraordinary musician. And the movie isn't a movie about Alzheimer's. What it is, it's a movie about a guy who was told to hang up his guitar, and he said, "I ain't done yet," and boy, did he prove that. We thought we were going to go film for 5.5 weeks. We went for 151 shows.
Oh, wow.
And there's more big laughs in this movie than mainstream comedies, and it's about family, faith, love, music, of course, and oh, by the way, the guy's got Alzheimer's, and that, so it's a very uplifting thing, and when people watch it, they come away with it. First, they feel seen if they've had this in their family, but they have an understanding of what it is, but they really get a sense of what an incredible human being Glen is. And his kids are his band. So you also, and Kim, his wife, is on the road with him the whole time. So you get this incredible sense of family. And it's just a very uplifting, positive, affirmative film. So
Sounds awesome. Once again, we're talking with director James Keach with Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me, the documentary. And again, it's making its Iowa premiere this Friday evening at the Lutheran Church of Hope in West Des Moines. And it's free and open to the public. However, they do want you to register in advance for that. Now, it sounds like it has won some awards and was even up for an Oscar award last night. Talk a little bit about the award stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best reviewed films of the year. It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes of reviews from all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
It was nominated for one of the top 5 films of the year for the Broadcast Critics. It won 2 Grammys, was nominated for an Academy Award, and so, I mean, for a guy who was told to hang it up, he did pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And if people tuned in last night to the awards show, they saw Tim McGraw doing the music on there, and you were telling me before we started up on the interview how that music is shot up on iTunes. What's going on with that?
It went from, I heard, 100 to number 2.
Wow.
To number 2 because of Tim's performance on the show, and the soundtrack album, which is out from Big Machine Records, went to number 4. So it's been quite a journey. We didn't make this movie we thought we were going to be doing it for 5.5 weeks.
Yeah.
It turned into 2.5 years filming, but it was just an extraordinary experience, and Glen is just an amazing guy, and the film it's really something.
And it sounds like also after the viewing of the documentary up there in West Des Moines on Friday night, you'll be also leading a panel discussion. Is that right?
Yeah. I'll be there to talk about it and hopefully answer some questions from the audience about anything about the film or the experience with Glen, and Kim's going to be with me too.
Okay.
Kim Campbell.
And so my information also lists his son and daughter as being there too. So
I think that's who the concert's going to be.
Yeah,
pretty great.
Yeah, so it'll be a great evening celebrating Glen Campbell's life, watching this documentary, getting some music as well from his family. So again, we're talking about the Iowa premiere of Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me, award-winning documentary, and director James Keach. We're talking to him on the phone right now. He'll be there. Glen Campbell's family will be there this Friday night, and we'll have more information on our social media sites for KBOE, so make sure you look there for more information and get your advanced ticket registration in. You don't want to miss this. If you're a fan of Glen Campbell and country music in general, it'll be a great experience to see this documentary. And I hope you have a great turnout, and it's been a pleasure talking to you. You're an easy guy to talk to, and I hope you have the best going on with all your awards ceremonies and with everything coming up. One thing we didn't talk about yet, James, is CNN picking up on this. Tell us a little bit about that.
So that's really exciting. Eli Lilly and Company, Lilly Pharmaceuticals, is sponsoring the CNN Presents film series for us, and they picked up our film, so it's going to be on in June and in November, and it's really exciting.
Awesome. So Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me. Look for that on CNN, and again up in West Des Moines at the Lutheran Church of Hope this Friday evening. James Keach, it's been a pleasure.